The 2025 NFL Draft is in the books now, and the Las Vegas Raiders came out of it looking good. With all 11 picks they made, they improved, got deeper, and created competition. With the last couple of regimes, it took a while to see the types of players they wanted. I think the fact that they never won anything had a lot to do with why they didn't really know what types of players they wanted yet. They were still trying to see what works and figure it out. GM John Spytek won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and had much to do with the players that were brought in, so he knows what he wants. Head coach Pete Carroll went to 2 Super Bowls, winning one with the Seattle Seahawks, so he knows what works for him. This draft made it easy to see the types of players they like and what they thought of this roster before the draft. It all started with running back Ashton Genty. It worked out like Brock Bowers last year. You know, the perfect combination of best player available and a team need. We saw what happened with that combination last year, so I can't wait to see how it works out this year. But beyond that, you can see Carroll hasn't changed a bit in what he wants to do. On offense, he wants to run the ball with a star running back. That's why they took Genty. He has that combination of elusiveness, tackle-breaking power, and breakaway speed similar to that of Marshawn Lynch, whom Carroll had in Seattle. Genty's a little shorter at 5'8" to Lynch's 5'11", but they're built similarly. They both came into the NFL at the same weight of 215 pounds, too. Like I said before, I'm looking forward to those physical runs with multiple broken tackles that get all the fans and the defense fired up. What were they called again? Beastquakes? Yeah, I truly believe the Raiders have Beast Mode 2 in the house now. He's just as much of a traits running back as he is a stats running back, and he had over 2,600 yards last year. When the Raiders finally got to make their second round pick at number 58 overall, they took receiver Jack Besh. Is he a starter? I think so. He's a good player that does it differently, but he gets it done. At 6'1", 214 pounds and running a 4.55 40 with a 34.5-inch vertical leap, he's not that great of an athlete. He doesn't run the greatest routes either. He's more of a physical receiver. He's one of them guys that'll throw you across the field to get open and catch the ball with his sure hands. He won't go down easily after the catch either. He's a dog. He's one of those receivers that you can call a tough guy or a nasty boy. He blocks well in the running game too. What will his role be? Either he or Jacoby Myers are going to move into the slot, right? Because they're both possession receivers. Spytek sounded like slots to plan for Myers a few days ago. Head coach Pete Carroll wants to beat opposing defenses up. He wants a physical running game with physical running backs, big physical receivers for blocking and punishing defenses after the catch. So Besh is one of his guys. With the first of their third round picks, the Raiders went ahead and got themselves a corner. They got Daren Porter from Iowa State. That pick right there was an Al Davis and Pete Carroll pick. At 6'3", 195 pounds with 33-inch long vines for arms, he was built for press man coverage, and he's physical at the line of scrimmage. He hasn't played a ton of man coverage, though. He's had more zone reps and done well with them. He's been a corner for 3 years and only started 1 year. Sound familiar? Richard Sherman was a tall, converted receiver with long arms. Porter has a little more speed, though. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Sherman, but you can see the pattern in the types of corners Carroll looks for. Porter's going to compete with free agent acquisition Eric Stokes, a former first-round pick that's also a Blazer. If Stokes can recapture what he had as a rookie with the Green Bay Packers in 2021, he'll be hard to beat out. If Porter's a quick study with all his height, weight, speed, and length, it's going to be pretty hard to beat him out. Carroll said he wants competition everywhere, and he has one here. This is one of those drafts where you can get starters from rounds 1 to 3, maybe later, and the Raiders might have done it with Genty, Besh, and Porter. At least major contributors, right? But don't expect too much from the 2 third-round picks after Porter. They're not even true third-round picks. Compensatory picks come after each round, so it's really the beginning of the 4th round. Oh, and the players they picked have 4th-round grades. Again, this is a deep class, so there will be some starters that got taken a little later. I just don't think guard Caleb Rogers, whom the Raiders took with their 2nd third-round pick, is one of them. You have to remember, at no point this offseason did the Raiders sound like offensive line was a need. The day before Rodgers was picked, Carroll said he and Spytek liked the way their offensive line was coming around. He fits the profile for Spytek, though. He played tackle in college, but Spytek got him to move inside to guard. He did it with Alex Capa back in 2018, and it turned out pretty well for the Buccaneers. They're both 6'6", 312 pounds with 32-inch long arms, so I think the plan is to develop Rodgers behind Capa. With the third of their 3 third-round picks, the Raiders took tackle Charles Grant. Grant's a small school guy with a steep competition curve to adapt to. He has the tools to do it, though. He's 6'5", 310 pounds, has 34 3/4-inch long arms, and ran a 5 flat 40. Big, long, and athletic is what you look for in a tackle, and big, long, and athletic is what he is. His long arms serve him well in pass protection, but his kick slide isn't quick for how athletic he is. I wonder if that's him playing down to his competition level. It's going to have to pick up in the NFL, and maybe the urgency will pick it up for him. Other than needing to play a tad lower at times, he's technically sound. The number one thing you look for in a small school guy, though, is dominance, and Grant did dominate in college. The word is he's going to be a swing tackle that competes more as a right tackle. Don't let that contract drama fool you. That left tackle spot belongs to Colt Miller. I think Grant's competition for right tackle will be Daren Porter, who's healthy now. I see DJ Glaze as a starting guard for the Raiders. Either way, I think Grant's going to need a minute to develop. With their first pick in round 4, the Raiders made my second favorite pick in this draft. You guys know Genty's my guy, so receiver Dante Thornton's in second place here. I love this pick. I mocked him to the Raiders in all my mock drafts because I couldn't help it. This is another one of those Al Davis, Pete Carroll picks. From Carroll's perspective, he had DK Metcalf in Seattle, and Thornton's a match for that. At 6'5", 205 pounds, running a 4.30 40, Thornton's a hair faster than Metcalf, while Metcalf is stronger and more physically dominant. I'm glad to see the Raiders add a big receiver that can block a corner in the running game and run by one in play action. Thornton didn't run the full route tree in college, but he can sink his hips and change direction. To go with that speed, being 6'5" helps him win contested catches down the field, so I don't know how much of that route tree the Raiders need him to run outside of go routes and fades. He's the ultimate X-receiver deep threat as he averaged 21.9 yards per catch. We'll see how he does, but we can see what Carroll was looking for in him. Another Metcalf. With their second fourth-round pick, the Raiders got defensive lineman Tonka Hemingway. At 6'3", 280 pounds, he's a tweener, which means he's versatile. He has a quick first step that enables him to play on the edge. He's not Von Miller, but he can function out there. That first step also gets him penetration into the backfield from the 3 technique. He has a little box of pass rush moves that get him to the quarterback, so he'll be in the pass rush rotation at a couple of positions. Against the run, he's not going to be that great inside unless he gets penetration for a tackle for a loss. He's good against the run when he's on the edge, though. I'm thinking he'd make a good 4-3 base end. He could 2-gap too, so he'd also make a good 3-4 end. And I'll tell you what, Hemingway will be a great fit with guys like Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, and Adam Butler. He's a high motor guy that goes from snap to whistle, and nowhere on the field is too far to run to make a play. He's smart too as he reads blocking schemes and sniffs out screens and misdirections. Especially with his versatility, he's going to give the Raiders good depth on that defensive line. Okay, the Raiders skipped the 5th round, and with the first of their 3 6th-round picks, they took interior defensive lineman Piggies. At 6'2", 310 pounds, he's pretty athletic, running a 5'1" 40. He got a chance to put it on display in college a few times as he played a little offense near the goal line and has a few touchdowns. With the second of their 3 6th-round picks, the Raiders got offensive weapon Tommy Millott. He was a quarterback in college, but doesn't have the height at 5'11" or the arm talent to play quarterback in the NFL. Two things he has are his ability to run the ball and speed. He rushed for 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns last year and ran a 4.39 40. With their third pick in the 6th round, the Raiders took quarterback Cam Miller with Quentin Ewers still on the board. I'm still trying to figure that one out. He does have some touch and can use his legs to run and scramble, but I don't get it, particularly when Ewers is there for him. The Raiders' Mr. Irrelevant this year is 7th round pick Cody Lindenberg. And this part of the draft is all about special teams. That's how he'll make the team. From this draft, you could tell that GM John Spytek and head coach Pete Carroll still like the same things they've always liked. Spytek still likes to take college tackles with short arms and move them to guard. He got one to develop behind Kappa now. Carroll still likes his big corners with long arms. He has one that can run now. He still loves his big physical receivers too. One of them is a DK Metcalf type with all kinds of speed. Oh, and those beast mode type running backs that are hard to get on the ground? Check. The Raiders build depth and competition in the trenches on both sides of the line of scrimmage too. Can't wait to see the product. Thank you for watching. See you next time.